employees in certain work processes, reporting structure, or job roles. Organizational changes, realignment adjustments, new platforms, updated guidelines and procedures. Normally, these are for all the changes that each company is trying to make or trying to enhance what they consider their target market or for their actual employees, whether it be for strategic reasons or to make their business more profitable. First, you start out with a strategy, then you go to business architecture, change portfolio management, innovations, operations, change planning, and then from there, basically, you actually implement all the changes, and then that's when it affects the actual employees, which we will be going over as to how the environment will change. Resistance phase, exploration phase, and commitment phase. Denial is normal response is not happening to me. I don't have to do this. Resistance phase, this will never work. I want to go back to the way we used to do it. Commitment phase, this is how I work now. This is a better way. And then exploration phase, exploration phase. Okay, maybe this can work. There might be a way. And then commitment, this is how I work now. This is a better way. Everybody resists it, and usually has either lack of motivation or why do we need to change when maybe it possibly just already something else was implemented, or it could have been an employee that implemented a different change and still working that issue, but another change comes into place. However, the behavior on people when they first initially get the information that there is going to be a change, some may feel that they have lack of information, fear of the unknown, fear of looking incompetent or doing something wrong. Usually is what their initial shock is. And then the actual denial feeling is threatened or fear of failure. So this actually challenges the employee to make adjustments to what they're doing or to what they need to do better as far as how the company sees it. Most employees consider either something they've done in the past, either a different job or what's different with why we're changing it now. Initially, it doesn't really stay with them, or the reason why that they want the change or deny the change is because they just don't know. Activity decline. A lot of people just don't understand how to do it, or they need training. So obviously the production is going to go down and not going to necessarily get the exact numbers or production that you would normally see. Employees may be pessimistic and cynical about the future, saying maybe the company is going to go down from here, or this isn't going to work. The customer is going to reject it. Things like that. Employees expect more work from the change, so now they think, okay, I'm doing this process this way, so now I got to add this on top of it. But more than likely, if it's going to be a change, it necessarily going to replace something. You may continue to actually do what you were doing before, but now you'll have a different role. The emotional and defensive reactions increase. Obviously, you'll experience anger, excessive debating or arguing, and then if something doesn't work, I told you so, or possibly the told you so could be like, I knew a change was coming. Employees start exploring the change and accept that they cannot stop the change. So they're like, well, if I want to get a job or keep this job and still get paid, then I guess I have no other choice but to move forward with the company, because the company is changing regardless, and people are put in those positions to make those changes to make the company a lot better. employees look into the future for responsibility, so they may want actual opportunities to grow in their job field now that there's actually some change implemented, whether it's to expand it now with that actual change into that current job. Employees may continue to be skeptical, saying maybe that the old phase was still better, but more than likely this is where they're trying to see how they can actually accept what is going on or accept that change. The staff will have a better cooperation, meaning that, hey, there's nothing else that we could do. We might as well go ahead and accept it and move forward with the actual change itself. We'll be focused and have more improved skills, so to actually be better at it, because at this point they should be already had the training and it's should take an effect, whether it works or not. They are already accepting how the workflow or process is already doing. Accept the change that will work, which I kind of already mentioned, but employees typically, it just takes a little bit for them to accept, all these different changes that higher ups see. Normally it's the little people, I'd say, which is the ones that take the most of the customers, deal with all these changes, and people that work up top at the operational level make all these extra changes. So it's a little hard for people to accept at the lower level when they're the ones that's dealing with it. But at this point, they accept the change and they have to do the process to keep it going. Leadership, start setting long-term goals. Now that you have everybody on board, you can start setting those goals to where, hey, what's moving on next? How can we, so in the future, either be future state in a year or 2 years, where we're going to go from here? How can we enhance what we actually already have? Success. Without operational change, a company may risk missing project objectives and the loss of productivity. Change in the culture of corporation is inevitable. It's always going to happen, but the behavioral issues are still going to be the same. People will continue to resist the actual changes itself. However, it is a process, or it is a cycle that employees will face, but eventually will accept.